Okay, first off, let's see how much my cook kit weighs. This includes my fuel, at least 3 tablets of my Esbit fuel. Includes my stove, a windbreak, my lighter, as well as a spoon, and I think a sponge to keep cleaning out my titanium pot. All of this just comes in this little pouch, and it's a Toaks pot. You can find these on Amazon. Really simple, really lightweight. But all together, let's see how much this weighs. Looks like we got 7.6 ounces. And that includes 3 Esbit fuel tablets. Okay, in my pouch here, I have the Toaks pot. So there's the pouch. The Toaks pot is just this titanium with lid pot. Nice little guy. And I have, like I said, looks like 3 tablets of Esbit fuel. I have a spork, just a little plastic spork that I use. Really like this guy. Super simple, easy, lightweight. Just folds up and it can fit inside my pot. I have my Esbit stove. I love this thing. It's just a tray stove for those Esbit tablets. And you can see here, it's just a little guy. I don't even know the ounces on this, and my thing just died, but it is super tiny and super lightweight. And that's all it is. Just a little stand. Pretty cool. Okay, then I have a lighter. Then I have, like I mentioned, just a little Scotch pad so that I can use that to kind of clean my pot after I'm done with it. And inside, oh yeah, I forgot, I have these little hot lips, because when you cook on this stove, the edge gets super hot, and by putting this on there, oh, you can drink it like a mug. So I definitely recommend you get yourself some hot lips. And I put in here a windbreak that I just kind of made out of one of those Dutch oven liners. I just cut it up, put some holes in it. It's a great little windbreak when I'm out and about. Just goes around my stove like that. Okay, the Toaks pot. It's a 2-cup, I think 500 milliliter, 16 ounce pot. So I'm gonna just boil 2 cups of water, which is the traditional boil for anything that has like just add water meal. And I'm just gonna do some hot chocolate tonight. Like I said, I just have these little Esbit tablets. The only problem with these Esbit tablets that I have found is they have an aroma, and my wife thinks they smell kind of like a fish. So be advised. So these little guys, they just pop right in. Super simple. We're gonna get that set up. Just goes into my tray, and then I've got my pot, and I'm gonna fill it up with the 16 ounces. Right like that. We'll get this started. There we go. Let that get going. Start a timer. Boom. Okay, we'll just set that on the side here. Get that going. Take the pot, and it just rests right there. These little Esbit tablets put like a little residue on the bottom of this. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer, but honestly, when it's something that I'm just using outdoors and I'm just cooking outdoors, it's not a problem at all. Pretty slick little setup. That's easy. Holds the pot well. Okay, while that is going, I want to tell you about my other pot, my other stove cook kit. This one is just a self-assembled as well, DIY. In fact, this is my alcohol burning stove. This one I just grabbed one of those grease pots from Walmart. It's the Imusa. I still have things to do. I think it's like a work in progress, really. But in this one, it's got a little spot for some alcohol tubes that I've made, and I've actually marked these to give me the ounce, so I know how much alcohol to put into the stove per burn. This one's just got a bigger plastic spoon just because it can fit in the pot. And then just a big cook pot, really nice for when I make something greater than just the add water kind of stuff. And then a plastic cup so I can't burn my lips when I just need to have like a mug. Super lightweight. I should check the ounces on that one as well. But this is my self DIY stove. It's just made out of a an aluminum bottle. This one happened to be a beer bottle I got from a friend, where I could cut it in half and then kind of crimp it on itself and make my own little burner. I have another video on this one that I'll show. Was this little burning alcohol stove. You can make them from just an old aluminum bottle. This one happened to be a Budweiser bottle that I had cut, inverted the cap. You cut a couple of notches into the cap when you're ready, and then it just seats down inside, and then you just use a press and you fold it in on itself to kind of create these round little like grips, and it seals it. Pour it down there, and then I drilled holes all around, and it creates quite the little bloom. It's pretty fun. Let me show it off. Okay, I picked up that heat. It's really inexpensive, burns clean. It's just pretty much isopropyl alcohol with, it's like 99% or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, so we're going to use this first and give it a shot. We'll go from there. There's a lid I have. Maybe that can work. You see that? Pretty cool, huh? All right. It's full on going. Now you can see down in, it's boiling. Let's just see how this goes. Put my pot on. We should start a timer. All right, here we go. It might be running out, actually. No, it's not. It's still going. Yeah, I feel the heat. It's doing its thing. I can hear it. It's pretty cool. I can barely even see the flame going. It's nice and light out. So far we're at about 1:20. It's definitely warmed up the water in 2 minutes. Pretty good. One of the things I remember about my alcohol stoves and why it's not my number one go-to is because when you have the alcohol, you don't know how many ounces it takes where you're going to get a good boil. And so that's again why I had put on my little canister here, the different measurements of how many ounces. and I kind of gauged it. I would be like, oh, this one goes 6 ounces, or this one was a 2-ounce burn or something like that. But the problem is that if you pour all of that in there in your stove and you don't use it, well, then you have to pour this in the wild back into your deal. And more importantly, you have to be able to snuff this to get that flame to go out so it's not burning your alcohol. So all of that basically to say, I kind of stopped, I kind of went away from using alcohol burning stoves and moved more towards the canisters of alcohol. So we're at about 4, almost 5 minutes now, and no boil just yet, but it is getting steamy. Okay, it's getting steamy, it's getting close, and we're about 5 minutes, just over 5:20. Keep that going. Okay, we just hit the 6-minute mark. And maybe you can hear it. It's getting close. We're getting real close. Yep, I'm getting the bubbles coming, so I'm going to show you. Okay, it is like almost there. So we're about 7 minutes. I think I've done this before and it was like close to 8. That's a long time to boil, but anyway, you can see it's getting close. Pretty fun to have these stoves. Oh man, that's the rolling boil I was after. Look at this. That's the rolling boil we're after. That's total 8 minutes. I was right. 8 minutes to get to that kind of a boil. That's a long time. So a lot of it has to do with elevation and definitely the type of alcohol that you use. But that's always a fun one. Oh, wow. Just like that. My my alcohol burned out. And that burned right out. That was, whew. Okay, I hear it going. We're at about 10 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty long. And nope, still no boil yet. Okay, it has been a while since I've started this stove, and it's been a long time since I've done a full 16 ounces. And in fact, I did too much that it boiled up over, and when it boiled over, it put my flame out. I've forgotten all about that, and this has happened to me before, and that is a pain. And with it getting to that boil, we're about 13 and a half minutes. Oh man, I totally forgot that. So that is something that you have to watch out for. You can't add a lot of water. You need to get the larger pot. This one really is for a smaller amount of water. What a memory. I forgot all about that. How it just, man, it'll just boil over and then it puts out the flame. See, this is why you do things at home. This is why you try it at home, because then you remember what didn't work. It boiling over with 16 ounces, too much for it, for this little for this little totes pot. Okay, with it having boiled over, you can see it just put out my little deal, and it's not even hot anymore. So that's what you're left with, and they definitely come with that resin. But I found when I'm camping, it's never a problem just to toss that into the fire, because you're usually going to have a fire. By the way, this will just light right back up, so that is kind of cool. Hey, let's try another stove that I have. This is a little propane stove, fuel stove that I have. I just picked this up off of Amazon as well. It's super inexpensive. The thing with this one though is it's not pressure regulated. So as the temperature outside gets colder and colder, the tank won't push as much, and this doesn't keep a consistent burn but it's just a little fuel stove that just rests on, and I'll show you. Let's put it together. It's simple. You got to be careful with the threads, not to cross thread this thing. It's kind of tight, really tiny. Get that on there just right. Open it up. There we go. I'll take the pot. I poured the water back in. It is still a little warm, but let's do less water this time. I don't know what that is. About 12 ounces. There we go. So let's try and open this up and see what it looks like. Okay. So that closes it, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Pretty fast. You can hear it. It's getting pretty hot, pretty quick. This one definitely can cook faster because you can adjust how much flame, how much heat is coming. You clearly burn through a lot of fuel faster. It's also heavier because you have to carry this large fuel tank. However, that's not always a bad deal. So the water was hot, so I don't really have a true gauge of a rolling boil, but you can probably tell it's already boiling. Pretty awesome. Boils pretty fast. This stove, for just a simple little Amazon, does pretty good. So I like my Esbit for when I'm trying to be ultra light and just carry minimal, be a minimalist with the amount of fuel that I carry. But for convenience, these kind of cook stoves, you can't beat them. They're so awesome. One of my favorite brands is the MSR. I used to have one as a Boy Scout with a pump with the fuel where you could use the alcohol for it. Since don't have that any longer, and one of these days I'm going to get into their new, it's kind of like a jet boil system, but it is pressure regulated. Love that. I've seen it used a number of times, and I want to give it a go myself. So hang tight, maybe I'll show you one of those here in the future. Let's just make some hot chocolate, huh? Okay, like I said, you got to have these hot lips on there, otherwise you can't touch this pot. So let's keep that going here. Little hot lips, just like that. Yeah. Hey, I think that'll do it for me on this one. If you like the video, please like the video, and if you want to see more of this kind of content, me kind of showing off some of the stuff that I've had for the years, let me know. Leave a comment below, and we'll catch you on the next video. I'm Backcountry Blake. Thanks for watching. See y'all. Oh yeah, that's good.